It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper to what's happening on and off the dohyo, like our good friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about. No matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa, everyone. And Okaidi, welcome back to my co-host Troy.
It's me.
It's you, and it's me, and we're back. We're back. It's time for some more Sumo.
Been a minute or two. It feels like this was a particularly long break.
You know, it's been it's been the usual 6-week break, but yeah, no, it feels longer this time for some reason.
It does. But glad that we're back in the saddle.
Indeed.
Back in the ring.
Yep. Hit me with your best shot.
That's right. Looking forward to learning all about the Natsu Basho Banzuke and hopefully seeing if at any point during this entire debacle will I be able to say Royoko Kuki Kuki-kon.
No.
I'm gonna work on it. It just gets away from me in my mouth. Like it just sort of rolls around there.
It's one of those names, one of those things that really is hard to say until you keep struggling with it, and then one day it clicks.
Gotcha. All right.
For those who are wondering, Troy is having trouble saying Ryogoku Kokuki-kan.
Ryogoku Kokuki-kan. Dang, I know that isn't right. It just feels wrong. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, for me, the key to figuring that out was understanding each of the parts individually, right? Ryogoku is the section of Tokyo.
Ryogoku.
Yeah, and it's Ryogo is the name of the section, and ku means ward. It's Ryogo section of town.
Got it. And then where do they sell the cookies? In the Cookie-con?
The Cookie-con, yeah. Yeah, at the Cookie-con.
At the Cookie-con, on my favorite conventions. Yeah, I'm working on it, friends. I promise you. I am. It just like I said, it just gets away from me.
You know, I had a really, really hard time learning to say the McDonald's in Japanese.
Oh, what is it?
Makudonarudo.
Makadu. Oh, okay. Makadu. Makadanu adu nudu.
Imagine going to the Ryogoku McDonald's. That would be
no the Ryogoku Goku Kam. Now say it again. It's
Makudonarudo.
Makudonarudo.
Yeah.
Makudonarudo. Yeah. Yeah. That would be, yeah.
It was hard because it kept thinking about it as a McDonald's, and I kept trying to go Mick, and it
kind of throws your rhythm off.
Rhythm is all off. In Japanese, nothing. I mean, that's one of the things about Japanese. Any English word brought into Japanese, since it has to be split into the consonant noun, consonant vowel pairings, they get longer and more cumbersome. Right? Some of them, it gets funny. My sister loved when I was learning Japanese because I had a tape that was teaching me, and they started with English words you might know, like escalator, which is escaleta.
Escaleta. Yeah.
Elevator is erabeta.
I see.
Ice cream is aisukurimu.
Yeah, so there's a couple of those words, like people would say, they would say merikarissimasu.
Merikarissimasu.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, kurisimasu.
Kurisimasu. Hi.
Yeah, got that a lot.
McDonald's is like that, except it's so many consonants that are important, and each time you add one, you have to add a vowel next to it. So it's maku. You can't go mac. It's maku.
Got it.
And Donald is not that danurod. Danurod.
This isn't Troy doesn't learn Japanese hour. Yeah.
Naruto. And the only way I learned it was by being there long enough that I was listening to the ads on TV. and I stopped trying to say the actual name and just like learned the rhythm because it was the same tune,
Yeah.
and the ads would go da ga da makuda naru do, and so I heard that and was able to. I would just
Put it
sing that
together.
anytime I had to say it. I'd sing that, and that's how I got over it.
That happens for a lot of folks who are learning English as well. That they
Yeah.
will pick it up on the commercials because they're meant to be catchy and jingly and
Yeah.
sort of, yeah. So they're working as intended. I have been seeing these TikToks recently of a woman who's trying to learn English.
Mm.
And so it says the word, and I don't know if it's Duolingo or what, where they say the word back.
Yeah.
And then it tells you whether you said it or not. And
Right.
she's crying and she's like, you tried to say asparagus or something. And it's heartbreaking, but it's also hilarious because she's just like, I'm saying it over and over and over again. And so that's, we're not alone.
No.
All right.
Which, interestingly enough, means so McDonald's.
Like as a like so McDonald's or like
No, like it's as in that's the answer. So McDonald's. Therefore
gotcha.
McDonald's.
Therefore McDonald's. Ergo McDonald's. I like it.
Ergo McDonald's.
That's interesting. Yeah. Can't wait. You and I are gonna head over to Tokyo.
Oh yeah, I wish. That would be great.
It would be a good trip. It would be a lot of fun. And we'd meet all the sumo wrestlers and do a podcast there likely. Probably right in the middle of the ring.
Some live streaming or podcasting.
Yeah. They'd want us right in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Right up close. Both of us wearing our Gyoji finest. Anyway, so there is a whole thing that we're doing here, which is all about not us cutting it up on the whatever we're doing, but it's the Natsu Basho Banzuke.
Right. Yes. Oh, that's right. We're here to talk about the Natsu Basho Banzuke because the Natsu Basho, the summer Grand Sumo tournament, begins in just a week from today.
Exciting. Now, normally during these spans of time, there is big news is sort of shared or leaked or something happened to somebody with something,
yes,
scandalous or what have you. Has anything occurred that I should?
No real big scandals. There's a bunch of people who are not in great shape, but no one who's really terribly badly injured.
And no one that we'd be surprised. It's not like a new injury.
Yeah, no really big new injuries, and no kind of I don't know. I think there's still a really good chance that everyone will be there on day one, and a really good chance that a whole bunch of people will not be there by the middle weekend.
Sure. I mean, so sort of same as it ever was.
Yeah.
So I said, McDonald's. No, so so thinking about I had it and then I lost it. I literally the moment that
came out. How about we go to the Banzuke and talk about what's going on?
Let's do that. Holy Moses. Let's do that. Let's do that right now, shall we?
Sure.
Ta-da!
Right. So here we go. This is the Banzuke. It's on the official Sumo Association app.
Yep.
Grand Sumo is what it's called. It's a free app. You can download it on whatever app store you're on, and you can pay it's $5-6 a month to get access to all the nifty extra stuff. But nice. The Banzuke is just part of the free package.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, good. I didn't realize that.
No, yeah, most of the stuff. What's not is videos. Like you can watch the videos of the daily matches. In fact, you can go back and watch videos for going back for I think years at this.
Wow!
point.
And what's the subscription?
Let's say it's subscription. It's an in-app subscription of like $6 a month.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh. We're not paid sponsored.
No, we got yes. This is not at all a paid sponsorship. In fact, we're hoping
One might say that they would get rid of
off
us.
the air.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, cool. Well, we use it for moments like this to help us break down, what's going on. I like it.
Can you take the
just looking at that? Let me get rid of that.
Can we take our flash off the?
Yeah, hang on. We want to get rid of this.
There we go. All right.
Sorry,
so here's the Banzuke for May 2026. At the top, we still have two Yokozuna. Hoshoryu is in the east, and Onosato is in the west. Onosato had to pull out in the middle of last tournament because his shoulder was, in fact, it wasn't even that far into it because his shoulder really wasn't into it. He has not been fighting much and not been fighting well. Personally, if I had my druthers, he would just take the tournament off. I don't think he will. I think he'll come in and fight, but I don't expect him to go the whole 15 days.
Right. So come into fight to save face or just to give it a valiant effort, and then
that shoulder is just taking a long time to heal.
And he's got to actually heal. Like, I mean, he's got to stop pushing himself back into the into the ring. But anyway,
Hoshoryu continues to have little nagging problems. He's not being super dominant in the pre-Basho practice matches. He's doing okay. He's getting more wins and losses by a significant amount. But, as we know, his problem is he just loses matches he shouldn't too often. And that means in order to get past that, you've got to come out and just be dominant every time you're on the
right.
And he hasn't been. But, he also has just been really good the last year or two, just not good enough to win tournaments.
Right.
Which, we were talking about this at the end of last tournament, and he started to get ragged a little bit by the Kyokai, by the Sumo Association, for not winning. But he's basically he's upped his game. Like our worry when he
ever been right
now the Yokozuna was that he wasn't. He almost never got more than 11 wins. Well, he's been getting 12 and 13 wins most times. It's just that hasn't been enough, and to win the tournaments still, and he's lost crucial matches. So he still hasn't won a tournament as a Yokozuna.
Oh, that's that hurts. And what's a bummer about that is, like you said, so he is arguably wrestling the best he's ever wrestled.
Yeah. He earned that promotion by the skin of his teeth, but he's never been the dominant force, and he only has ever won. His best year is winning one tournament in a calendar year, and he's never done that back-to-back years. So
that's an interesting perspective. I mean, that's an interesting way to sort of think about it. And I mean, I know we've talked about it before, but the fact that he is wrestling now better than he ever has, and he's promoted on the way he wrestled, prior. Yeah, it does put him in a really. I mean, I do remember feeling concerned for him that he wouldn't rise to the level and and find himself in a jackpot. And it is kind of, I don't know, unfortunate to have the Sumo Association come down on him like in judgment, but I get it too. I mean, like he is the big guy.
It's just kind of how it is. The Sumo Association and the newspapers are going to it's like a whisper campaign. It's like, yeah, he's great, we love him, but you know what? He still hasn't done the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Yokozuna goes, he's kind of a so-so Yokozuna, which kind of stinks.
It does. I think it really stinks. I think it's it's just a nasty thing to do to a guy.
Right. But as we still, Onosato was the best person we saw to come out and just win and keep winning. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Aonishiki was on the verge of doing it, and then he injured himself
Mm-hmm.
last tournament. And so, well, I'll get to so our Ozeki are Kotozakura and Aonishiki are Ozeki 1, East and West, and Kirishima got promoted to Ozeki. He's now Ozeki 2 East.
Big news. That's exciting. I mean,
It is. He's back after 2 or 3 years after losing his Ozeki rank
yeah,
and kind of just struggling for a bit. He's looking as good as he ever was.
it's exciting. It's great, and it is such a stark contrast to poor Hosh. You know, like you just kind of
Yeah.
But that's great. That's it's exciting. It's the comeback kid. You know, the redemption arc.
So Kotozakura, did he get double digits last tournament? He did. He got to 10-5 last tournament. First time he's had double-digit wins in a year and a half or so. He's just been hanging out as Ozeki, getting 8-9 wins,
right?
And not even making a move, the start of a move at a Yokozuna run, let alone winning a tournament. But it's good to see him having gotten double-digit wins last time, and hopefully that means he's on the start of an upward trend. We'll see. I don't know that I am convinced that's happening, but it could be. Aonishiki basically broke his. Everyone thought it was his big toe. Turns out it was his little toe. But when you're doing the kind of sumo that you do at that level, it doesn't matter. A toe's a toe, and you can't dig in the way you need to. And so he had a losing record, his first ever losing record in professional sumo last tournament.
Ouch.
So he is Kadoban. And for those who don't know, Kadoban is if you are for almost every rank, if you have a losing record, you get demoted some. You go down in the ranking. If you are an Ozeki and you have a losing record, you get a pass for one tournament, and you're basically put on notice. And that's what Kadoban is. You're told that if you have another losing record, you will be demoted. And we know that getting promoted to Ozeki is hard.
Yeah.
So that's why that's one of the main reasons they have that. So he needs to have a winning record this time, or he will have rocketed to Ozeki and dropped right out.
Ouch. Yeah.
Which is kind of reminiscent of Kirishima, who didn't drop out that fast, but kind of similarly, he got up to Ozeki, got himself into a Yokozuna run, and then hurt his back and dropped out. And we've seen the last couple of years fighting and scrapping his way to get back. So I'd hate to see that happen to Aonishiki.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been doing practice. He's only gotten back to doing stomping and hard training in the last week or so, because he had to have an operation on the toe and he had to heal. And so the question really is, what kind of shape is he in, and can he get 8 wins?
Right.
And when we come back next week in our right before the match tournament, we'll probably have a slightly better idea about that. But I think he's got a pretty good chance of getting 8 wins. If his toe is doing well and he can get some good matches in, he could be back in the mix. Or he may be struggling and he may have to pull out again if the toe is not fully healed.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, I mean, but it wouldn't be surprising if he had some bumps and just not just about because he hasn't, because he had a broken toe, but he's just not been doing it. Like, if you're not practicing, we've seen it before where they kind of come back from I'm trying to remember somebody that came back from injury and was just blazing all the way up and was just great and hadn't lost momentum.
No, we see it a lot, that how much that ring sense, right? That kind of being in the rhythm of it, that even if you are healthy, if you haven't been practicing, it's hard to do well at this level of competition.
Yeah.
And so that's that. Presuming that his toe is healthy, that will be the big struggle that he's got right now. And then, of course, there's Kirishima, who won the last tournament, turned 30 this between the last tournament and this one, 30 or 31.
Yeah.
And so that's a little on the old side. That's in the starting the downhill part of your career.
Yeah.
But he's on an upward run right now, and he says he's feeling as good as he ever has, and he's looking really good. His Oyakata won one or two tournaments in his early 30s, so and got promoted to Yokozuna in his early 30s. So he's been making a lot of comments of like, yeah, I recognize it. I'm not as young as I used to be, and I've got to do it now, but I think I'm ready to do it.
I like that. Speaking for all of us geriatrics at the age of 30, geez.
He's 30, right? Yeah, no, he's
the 30s. I passed them some time ago.
Well, professional athletes.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
So yeah, those are our championship level. Those 5. We're gonna have to pick someone for our championship level.
Yeah, and I do like the I like the stories. There's definitely some theater. There's some drama. There's some concern. There's some and it's about the game. It's about the fights and not anything else, which is nice.
Right. Yeah, and I think that really provided, straight out health questions off the table, right? If they are healthy, I think that any one of these 5 could win, and several of them should be in the mix, for the U show coming into the final weekend.
Yeah.
But that health question is very real for 4 of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so then we're going to look at our Sekiwake. We got 2 new Sekiwake. We got Atami Fuji.
Nice.
First guy from Shizuoka Prefecture to be Sekiwake in a really stupid long time. So way to go, Atami Fuji. Not only that, he's Sekiwake East. I don't know if you remember at the end of the last tournament, we were talking about the people who were losing and not enough were winning towards the top. Who was gonna get the push up?
Yeah.
And Atami Fuji got it. He's all the way up.
Earned it. Yeah. And
Koto Shoho too. Koto Shoho, who won a tournament last year in July. Yeah, it was in July. And then immediately got promoted way too high and started losing. Well, he's dug his feet back, and he had a great tournament last time. And again, because of the number of people who lost at the top of the Banzuke, there he is, up all the way up to Sekiwake.
Love to see it. Yep. What do you think about their prospects for maintaining that space?
Well, Atami Fuji has always had that. He came up like gangbusters. Has those hip problems that are gonna be with him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And has kind of struggled to stay at the top, but he seems over the last couple of tournaments to have gotten that, right? He got a winning score at Komusubi last time. So this is not different in who he will be facing. his tournament will be a little easier because he'll have easier matches in the first week, as opposed to Komusubi, where you have to fight everyone ranked at the top in the first week.
Yeah.
So, despite the faces being the same, his schedule will be easier, and it should theoretically be easier for him to get a winning score at Sekiwake as long as stays healthy and continues his trend. He's still a young guy. He's got the physique. We talk about that all the time. He's got some injury issues, but he certainly is one of those guys over the last year or two we've had on he could be one of the next big ones.
Yep.
Here's a big chance. Koto Shoho? I don't know. I thought that when he got promoted up to like Maegashira 1 previously after that big winning run, I thought, and we saw that he did terribly. I looked at it and thought, all right, well, he's really not ready for this. But after falling down the Banzuke a bit, he dug back in and has been looking really good. He hasn't looked so good that he's overcome, for me, that feeling that maybe this is a little too high for him. But I don't feel, I wouldn't go out on a limb to say that. I no longer think, oh yeah, well, he's going to have a losing tournament up here, which is how I felt last time. So I certainly, you know what? I'll tell you this: I won't pick him, but he could really be a spoiler in that position.
Nice. It's a good story. Let's hope he is. Yep. I mean, that's what I want.
Wakataka Kage back up into the Sanyaku there at Komusubi, and Takayasu holding on.
Absolutely holding on. And Wakataka Kage and his Waka brother, both of them, they've infuriated me.
Well, for the last few tournaments, they have been flipping where one of them goes into Sanyaku and the other one drops out.
And so you think, okay, I'll do the other one, and then that one does badly, and then you're like, no, I'm going to ignore them completely, and then they both do well. Like it's like, what in the world?
Well, Waka Motoharu, as you can see, is not even on the screen at the moment. He did really badly last time. He did
real bad,
He's dropped down a fair bit. But Wakataka Kage was looking pretty strong. And Takayasu still fighting, trying to get a win, trying to get a tournament just once. And like I say, with everyone at the top being suspect injury-wise, he's one of those people that's in a position where if everyone at the top is not at their best, that's a really good chance for him. Because if they're at their best, I don't think he really has a chance to ever get a U show at this point in his career.
So have any of the wrestlers that we've talked about, I'm trying to remember, and I'm not picking up on anything, but do they have tells, or is there, can we tie bad performance to a particularly scathing dressing down from, the Sumo Association, or like, are there any of those sorts of folks that we can anticipate that they will react a certain way definitively to the environment around them, or not really, huh?
Not really. I mean, Hoshoryu, one of the interesting things about Hoshoryu is he's really been trying to give the attitude of, I'm at the top, and all right, I've got to do better, but you know what? I'm up here, and I am the top dog.
Yeah.
He's really been. He apparently has been very kind of jocular when talking with the press, and making jokes and being a little self-effacing. I could have done better than that, but we're gonna go and I'm gonna do it. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a tell that he's feeling comfortable. And I think it's a tell that the pressure is not really getting to him, which is kind of the fear, right? That you've got to perform. You've got to win a tournament, right? He's not in a choke situation.
Interesting. And so you see that as this kind of behavior as it stands today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Kirishima also, the way he's kind of been like, yeah, I'm old, but I'm a little old for here, but I kind of wanted to do better than this last time, but here I am, and I've still got
That's right. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think both of their attitudes are are um, are giving me a lot of positive feeling towards their chances this Basho.
Yeah, I like that. So they have their heads on.
Yeah. And Aonishiki also is in a kind of, all right, well, I mean, I was injured and we're going to go and I'm fine. I'm good. But he's so young and so new. It's hard to tell how much of that is just kind of the fact that he's European and not Japanese.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't know any better.
um,
Interesting.
Onosato definitely gives me the feeling of the guy who, I mean, he's always carried himself really well, like a champion, but he's definitely giving me the feeling of someone who's hurt and he knows he's hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I say, I hope that he just pulls out this tournament.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Just, I mean, you just hate to think of the lifelong. I mean, because when they're done with sumo, they're not done with the world. They're still living vital lives, and they're retiring at what we would consider a very early age.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is comparable across all professional athletes.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's what's going on in the Sanyaku. Then we're gonna start looking at the upper Maegashira, and we got Fujinokawa all the way up at Maegashira 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really great. Takanosho back up there again. He was a guy who was kind of living right around the Sanyaku a couple of years ago, and then he had a few years of struggle, and he seems to be in a good groove recently. He's another guy. I think he's old enough at this point that he's not going to come up here and be a big challenger, but he's got enough experience here that if he's doing good and feeling good, he can hang out. He can get a
kick it,
Katsukoshi and be a contender up here. Yoshino Fuji and Ichiyamamoto.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that I just don't know what to think about. I think this will be a tournament for me to judge him on whether he really has made that leap. Right? It seems, given the way he did last tournament, that maybe he's finally put made a couple of connections in his head that's allowed him to make a leap. But as we often say, it's easier to do ranked lower on the Banzuke when you get up here in the top of Maegashira, right? And you're vying for that Sanyaku spot, and you've got to perform, maybe 2 or 3 tournaments in a row before there's room for you to move up. That's where you find out if they've really made a leap or they just had a good tournament.
Right. Yeah, the pressure. I mean, yeah, that is. I do remember there being kind of the log jam of everybody going, okay, when, are you retiring? Are you leaving? What are you doing? Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Then we got Hiradomi and Oho at Maegashira 3.
Oho.
Yeah. Oho.
Oho.
And Daisho.
That's interesting.
Finally, he's been slowly working his way back up. Again, another guy who was right up the top of the Banzuke, right up there at Komusubi and Sekiwake. It seemed like he was on the verge of maybe getting. In fact, he had a tournament where if he had done really well, he might have earned an Ozeki promotion, and it seems to happen frighteningly often. That's the tournament you get hurt.
Right.
And he's been fighting his way back from that. And it's also one of those things where I actually been surprised how slowly he's climbed back up the Banzuke after that. But he has, and he's back here, and he seems to be He seems to be in good shape, but again, there's a year and a half now that's been added to the number of miles he's gone.
Right.
And the question becomes even more: all right, is he
Fit.
young enough? Has he got enough? Sticking with the car metaphors, right? Has he got enough gas in the tank and enough rubber left on the tires to do it? I we'll see.
You sound a little dubious.
I am a little dubious, but I hope that I'm wrong. I'm a little dubious just because he hasn't, even with where he was ranked, he still hasn't come out and had like an Ichi Yamamoto really great tournament.
Yeah.
Right. Or Koto Shoho really great tournament. He has just every tournament come in and gotten 8 or 9 wins, 8 or 9 wins, 8 or 9 wins, which is great. But as a guy who 2 years ago was a solid Sekiwake on the verge of being promoted to Ozeki, you expect it when he's dropped down to the middle of Maegashira, he will really dominate, and he just hasn't. So I just think that means that his ceiling is lower than it used to be.
Right. Yep.
Is this it? Not necessarily, but I don't expect him to come in and dominate the
huge, upwardly mobile. Yeah. Makes sense.
Gonoyama, another guy who went right up the Banzuke and stumbled and has struggled for the last year or so, and seems to have gotten it together a little. If there's a story that I think we're seeing a lot of right now, it's the people who had troubles and are beginning and have put it together enough that they've risen back to an area where, okay, here's where they can either make the leap or drop back down.
Right.
Gonoyama's in one of those right now. He actually kind of struggled for a while, right around Maegashira 10 to 12, which he shouldn't have. He's overcome it now. He's back up here in our upper Maegashira 4. Looking good. We'll see. And then rounding out this section, we've got the previously mentioned Wakamoto Haru and
this guy.
Shodai. Wow.
How did that happen?
Again, how did that happen? He had a good tournament last time. Kind of in a walking backwards way. But I'm remembering correctly, he had a great first 4 or 5 days and a really kind of crappy middle of the tournament, and then finished strong.
Yeah, that's how I remember it as well.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
Anyways,
I think he's still Shodai. He's just Shodai. And Maegashira 5 is maybe a little high for him these days. But the problem has always been that he's built for it, and he's got the skills, and if he ever could get his head right, there's still no reason why he couldn't be a really dominant rikishi, but he never was, right? He, aside from that 6-month period that earned him his Ozeki promotion, he's never put that kind of thing together well enough to go up and hang around. The only reason he hung around at the top of the Banzuke was that he did so well in that 6-month period that he got to Ozeki. And so, as we were talking before about the Kadoban and not getting demoted unless you have 2 losing tournaments in a row, well, we got to watch and complain through those 3 years.
Right.
I don't think he's gotten any better.
Right.
So I think Shodai if he's doing well, if he's just doing the way he probably should when he's given everything we've seen. He's healthy and he's performing well. He should be hanging around in this area, in the upper Maegashira area, occasionally getting into Sanyaku and then dropping down a little and coming back a little. So it's not like it's a shock to see him here, but boy, do I not think that he is going to have a great tournament and rock it up. Which means he probably will, because I've been terrible at predicting that kind of stuff.
That's right. So, for instance, you're picking your Fantasy Oyakata, just do the very opposite of Stan and myself, honestly. More me than Stan, but yeah. The sentiments are accurate.
Now we go to the middle Maegashira, and we got at Maegashira 6, Churanomi and Fuji Seun, who came in and has done really great since joining the top division. So,
and he came up from the lower ranks?
Yeah. This is his third tournament in the top division, I think.
Interesting. That name is not immediately familiar to me.
Yeah, he's only been around a little while, and it's mostly been down at the bottom of the Banzuke.
Right.
He's looking good. He's one of those people that fans and pundits have had their eye on for a while. So we'll see. He's a guy to keep an eye on here too. Chiyashoma and Asakodyu, Maegashira 7. Asakodyu also, after he kind of seemed to settle in right around Maegashira 11 to 10 and wasn't going anywhere, and he had a good tournament last time, and a couple of people wisely picked him. I hadn't really given him enough look.
That's right.
And he did very well for some people on the last Fantasy Oyakata game. Now, ranked this high, can he do it again? He's another one of the don't want to bet against him, but I still don't know that I'm ready to pick him. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Oshoma and Asahakudyu at Maegashira 8. Abi and Nishiki Fuji at Maegashira 9. And Asanoyama and Hakuno Fuji, they're at Maegashira 10. There's two guys that are going the opposite way.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Talk about upward and downwardly mobile.
Hakuno Fuji, another one of those guys, kind of like he's what I'm afraid of for Onosato, right? What happened to Hakuno Fuji? His injuries, despite being young and coming up strong and being dominant and having what it takes, his injuries have just kept him from achieving, and he's really struggled. Last tournament, he was back up a bit higher and just didn't do great. And look at him down here, Maegashira 10.
Yeah.
Asanoyama, on the other hand, coming back from being only the second guy in modern sumo to have dropped all the way down twice and come back to the top division. Another guy who's just turning 30 and was, 5, 6 years ago, was on this guy's going to be a Yokozuna track.
Yeah.
And, he's trying to get back to Ozeki. And he's not, despite having made it all this way, kind of like Daisho, he's slowly chunking his way up the list, 1 or 2 ranks a tournament, not making big leaps. Which, kind of like I said about Daisho, that just makes me think that his ceiling may have lowered, and he may never get there. I hope he does. I hope Hakuno Fuji manages to get some good health, but
yeah, me too.
He's doing sumo. He never will.
Right. Yeah. No, that's generally the trajectory. Get wounded and try to mend and then break it again, and then retire.
So yeah. So that's that middle Maegashira again is a section that's got a lot of potential and no people that jump out to me as saying these are the guys for sure to pick, or even these are the guys for sure not to pick.
Yeah.
So that when it comes next week, when we're talking about making our picks for the Fantasy Oyakata game, this once again will be a wild west. And if you make a good choice here, that could be your key to lifting the fake Emperor's Cup over your head.
Absolutely. And like Stan said, the it is not unusual that there would be just a collective group think on a particular rickshaw that they all pick and we're not clued in on because I don't know, we are just the talent. So I'm wondering, I'm going to interrogate it next time. When we see that pattern, I'm going to contact them and say, why have you done this?
Well, last time everyone picked Kirishima.
Yes. That was so funny. And also, friends, I'm dropping the form for the Fantasy Oyakata. You can click on that, and you can save your answers and come back to them as well and change them up until
the noon on the 9th of May.
Yep.
So fill it out. Join us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And if you do want to change it, please go and change your order rather than putting in a second one, because
that confuses things.
The form is stupid, and it will just tell me that it'll tell me that you've entered twice, and you can't enter twice. I'll take your last entry will be the one that I choose, but it's so much easier for me if you can save the link they send you and modify your choice.
That's right.
All right, so let's look at our lower Maegashira, starting at Maegashira 11. As you can see here, we don't go to Maegashira 18 anymore. In fact, we don't even have a full Maegashira 17 because the number of people in the division stays constant. And when we get extra people ranked up at Ozeki, or we have any doublings up of ranks up there, it means there are fewer spaces at the bottom of the division.
Right.
Back in the 2015s, the 2015-2016, when we had 3 Yokozuna and 4 Ozeki, it was Maegashira 16 was about as low as the division went, and sometimes even up as high as Maegashira 15. So who we got? We got Ura and Kinbozan just there at the top of the lower section.
Yep.
Ura had a rough tournament last time. He didn't look bad. He just didn't do well.
Yeah.
Kinbozan, I don't know what do you say about Kinbozan. He struggles.
Yeah.
When you can't figure out why. Below that, we've got Shishi and Toki Hayate. And I know that you have become a big fan of Shishi's.
I have. Well, I mean, I've appreciated his fighting spirit and how difficult it must be to break into this sport in the way that it is just so ingrained in tradition and culture, and to do so with 99% respectability rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm only taking off a percentage for his little butt wiggled, on the dojo.
It's so cute.
It's something, yeah. But he's, I've taken a shine to him, and I've made it. I've made it official. I've changed my flair on r/sumo, and I am now a Shishi fan. So I love Tobizaru still, but
Tobizaru, I'm going to get to him in a second. Yeah, can see his name down there. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it may be time. It's time to kind of not be on that train, because I think Tobizaru is, if not immediately, sometime not too soon, not too far from now, is going to be dropping out of the top division and probably looking to hang up the Mawashi.
Yeah, I'll hail the flying monkey, but
Anyway, before we get there, we got Koto Shoho's younger brother, and Tamawashi at Maegashira third. Tamawashi, he's on the verge of setting and holding his own record for being the oldest guy to have a Kachikoshi in the top division.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like age is catching him just at that time. Right now, he's tied for that. The last time he had a Kachikoshi had him age-wise tied with the previous record holder. So he needs to do it one more time to be the sole possessor of that record.
Right.
And
not looking.
I don't know. It's hard to say because it's not that he's injured. He's fighting hard, and it's just not happening. And it's not happening every time he drops down a few levels. We think, all right, it'll happen here.
Yeah.
And then he drops down a few more levels. So we'll see. I have faith in you, Iron Man. You can do it. You're gonna make me sweat it out, I think.
I think you're right.
And we got Mitake Umi and Roga back up in the top division.
Good.
He apparently hasn't had a winning record in the top division for 4 years.
Ouch.
Or something like that. He's just he's one of the guys. He came back up when Asanoyama came back from his first drop down the Banzuke because of the COVID punishment.
Yeah.
Roga came back. They came back to the top division at the same time, and they both did really well in their first tournaments. And Asanoyama struggled and then had injury, and Roga just struggled. But he fell down to Jurio and did really well recently, and he earned a spot back up here. We'll see if he's got what it takes to hang around for a while. In the meanwhile, we got Tobizaru, who's well, you know what? One of the things I found out watching a video this week, which I don't know, I'm sure I knew it at some point, but I've completely forgotten. There's a wrestler who retired recently named Hidenomi.
Yeah.
Who's his brother? He's Tobizaru's brother.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I
didn't know that either. Yeah, we never really had an occasion to touch on that. But
they didn't go to the same stable, which is a little strange. Usually, you see brothers fighting out of the same stable, and it just didn't come up terribly often. And like I say, I'm sure I knew that and then forgot, so it's my bad. But yeah, his older brother just retired recently, and is not that much older. And Tobizaru, his monkey moves seem to not be working anymore.
They're not. They've lost a little sparkle. I will admit.
So I think we've both got our fingers crossed that down here at the bottom of the Banzuke, he will find his magic feather. He'll find his charm and dig back in.
Yeah.
But I don't know how confident I am about that.
Yeah, me either.
Oshomi also there at the Maegashira 15. Wakanosho and Ryuden, Maegashira 16. And Fuji Ryoga, barely hanging on there. Got a little lucky.
It must be exciting for him to be in that place, and that's really fun.
So he said, grabbing his glass and having a drink at just the worst time.
Mid-sentence, I did the same thing.
Yeah, so that's what the Banzuke looks like. I find this one, I look at this one, and I think top to bottom, I'm having trouble picking out clear choices.
Yeah, and it's not all a case of who's rapidly racing to the bottom, right? I mean,
no, it's not that there aren't people to choose. It's that there aren't good wrestlers, particularly within each section. There aren't people who stand out and say, "Oh, he's going to do better than all these other people." Like there are 3 or 4 clear, yeah, this is a pretty good choice, and then probably another 2 or 3, this is a pretty good choice. And then even the ones that aren't that are like, yeah, he could do it.
Yeah.
And just kind of the people we've been talking about, the Tobizadus and the Tamawashis. Like, there are some people that look at them like, yeah, I'm not betting on them. But again, there aren't a lot of people I look at and I'd say I'd bet against them.
Right.
So yeah, this is an interesting Fantasy Oyakata. I have very little confidence that I'm going to do well this time.
Yeah, so I will admit that my confidence is a little shaken as well.
And I didn't do well last time. But part of that was I forget who it was I had that just did really bad. I think I picked Ura last time. I think that's what and Ura just had a terrible tournament. Anyway, speaking of that, I'm now going to switch views.
Okay. What are we going to look at?
We're going to look at, do I hit this? What do I hit? Do I hit this?
Yeah.
Replace. We are going to look at a chart from our good Fred. He's our good Fred and our good friend. Friend Pinkerton.
Friend Pinkerton. Yeah, he's great. He puts these charts together. You can go back. Gosh, I wonder how many Basho. And look at them. We've done it to some degree and lined them up. You can kind of see the ups and the downs and who you know how it's really very telling. And it also could be a sort of a portent of what's to come, depending upon how that top level is doing. And all the crazy drops and gains that you can see in the red and the green.
Yeah, so we once again get to see some. We're going to see a lot of steep downs at the top, and in fact, all the way up and down. There's a bunch of people going down, and a lot of people at the bottom who make big leaps. A few at the top. We had a lot of underperformance last time. But it's interesting to me to look at Hoshoryu's got another straight line across there. Hoshoryu's solidly been our Yokozuna East, and Onosato's solidly been our Yokozuna West. See, if you look at the last two, Kotozakura and Aonishiki are flipping and flopping. One up, one down, one up, one down.
Interesting.
And Kirishima has stayed relatively ranked the same as them, except that now he's an Ozeki. So now, if he does better than they did, which if you look at the last time, right, Kirishima did best of the three of them, but all he got was a move across because he wasn't ranked at Ozeki yet. But now he is. So if he does, we'll start getting a three-way mix-up there at Ozeki. Presuming that Aonishiki is well enough to get 8 wins. What else is interesting here? Let's see, Takayasu went 7-8 and drops to Komusubi, who's there. Oh, Wakamoto Haru. There we see that 3-12, dropping him from Komusubi down to Maegashira 5. And
is that the steepest drop? No, it's not. Is that the steepest drop? But it's not.
It's close.
It's pretty close, but
it
looks
is.
like
that is a steepest angle going down.
Got it.
There are a couple of other close ones. I mean, the Churanoumi is. I mean, you can see those lines aren't parallel, right? So Wakamoto Haru's down, but Roga at 5 and 10 going down. That's about the same, and the Osoumi at 5 and 10 going about the same down. So yeah, but you can see the difficulty in with those people coming up on the big curves, the Koto Shoho and Ichiyamoto and Takanosho slotting in with all those people going down. Let's see. Shodai was only 8-7. I thought he did better last time. I misremembered that. But we see Fujiseun and Chiyoshima were both 5-10 last time. They've got big upward ranks. Koto Shoho at the 11-4,
Yeah.
all the way up to Sekiwake. We shall see. We shall see.
Sorry if you heard a noise, but I just whacked my knee on my desk.
I didn't hear that, but I'm sorry for you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Really punctuated my feelings on the subject.
So, bam, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for those of you that want to look at these charts, if you see there on there, fredpink.com is his website where you can download these. He puts these up before each tournament, and I've got a collection of all sorts of them.
Yeah, and he's got some other fun stats up there too, so you can kind of look at the whole entire ecosystem of sumo through the lens of height and weight, and it's fascinating. It really did kind of, for me anyway, help me wrap my mind around what are we doing here, what's happening in sumo, and it's great stuff. And plus, we like him a great deal, so stop by and
super nice guy.
Sumo Show sent ya.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. Of course, the other thing you mentioned before that the form is up for the next Fantasy Oyakata game. You can go and pick your group. You pick 5 Rikishi, one from each of those groupings that we were talking about, and pick your team. And the person with the best record gets a hearty congratulations from us.
And $1 million
in their mind.
In your mind bucks. Yeah,
that's right. It's all about the joy of doing it. And we had a couple of people who won last time that were new to what's going on. In fact, I haven't updated the records chart, so I have to do that before.
Well, I gotta say, a little bit of win in some of these folks, and they just become. I mean, I know the power is intoxicating when you get a win, and it feels like you're on the top of the world.
Yep.
But you are. For a moment.
You know what? And I did really well for about a year. Right? I either won or came in second over and over and over, and I've hit a bit of a skid since then. I've hit an Asanoyama, if you know what I mean.
Well, and I just basically skated in here on a skid and remain skidding.
You're a Koto Shoho, right? You came in and you did great.
Yep. Injury and
then great.
But it's fun. We have a good time, and look forward to seeing everybody's picks and finding out the reason why or how in the world did all of you know to pick a particular Rikishi and score so well. We will be interrogating you.
Yeah. Well, I see. Last time the Kirishima one wasn't so surprising. Right?
I know.
He was the guy to pick. It was just weird that everybody.
That it suddenly was in the zeitgeist. Yeah, looking forward to it very much so. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
No, just making sure everyone. Please, you got until next Saturday, the 9th of May, to get your choices in. And if you get them in early, you can always change them. So don't hold back because you're not sure yet. Get your choices in.
Yeah.
As Troy and I both know, sometimes Saturday will come and go, and you forget about it. Then,
that's exactly right. We'll do the show, and I'll be like, "Oopsies."
Yeah. So we will be back next Friday, which is the day before the entries close for Fantasy Oyakata, and we'll be talking about everything that's gone on in this last week of training, how people are setting up, and some idea of what we may or may not have chosen for our team.
That's right. Yeah, and we'll give you light hints, subtle misdirects, and looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Yep. And then we will also be back next Sunday, a week from tonight, which will be day 1 of the tournament.
That's right.
And we'll do a day one review.
People tend to like that more by the count of the viewers.
Yeah.
So we'll continue that cadence for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. We'll keep doing what works.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So shall I pull these drums out?
If you got them, I think
got 'em.
now is the time to use them.
Here we go. This is me drumming all on my own.
You have been drumming. No, you've been listening to the Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sumoliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Touchy Eye Troy. So until next Friday, we say to you, Ja Matane!